Greetings and a welcome back to another supporter stream over here on Switched to Linux. Let me unmute people before I forget. We probably won't lose Dan's picture today because he's got fancy new internet now. Ooh. So anyway, but as you saw from the kitty screen, Code Red is officially rolling out everywhere. If you buy books online, you can look for the Code Red and you will probably find it. I spotted it at Barnes & Noble on all three formats, print book, ebook, and audiobook. Also, we are testing out if you are a Patreon supporter, $5 and up a month. You can download both of those for free over on Patreon in the shop. If you are not a paid supporter or if you're just on the lower tier, you can purchase them for they're right about retail price right now. I don't know. I'll think about dropping those down, and I'll actually put the other books up there as well eventually. I kind of threw that up there just to see how things are going, but that's all rolled out, and it's the 10th of the month, and I kind of know what story we're doing next for this month. I just haven't done any work on it yet. I've been in a crazy funk lately, and I don't know if that was because I was not feeling well last week, or if it's just that, transition is in the air. This frequently happens every decade or so in most people's lives. I don't know. So, I don't know. I have some thinking I'm doing. So, anyway, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing fine.
Zippy.
Doing good.
All right. And Ivan
My brother is...
I'm growing the neck beard. Ivan shaved his off,
Yeah.
My aerodynamics are it's like butter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Meanwhile, me and Salbu are here. It's me and Salbu versus Dan and Ivan, right?
Man. I even got my new hat on.
Oh, nice. It's very GNU, isn't it?
Yeah. The funny thing is that according to the English dictionary, this is supposed to be pronounced GNU.
You're missing the horns.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing. In the GNOME Foundation or GNOME Foundation or soon to be bankrupt foundation, depending, then they are, they say both pronunciations are correct. Technically, GNOME was the proper initial way to pronunciate it, but they said GNOME is also sufficient, mostly because, garden gnomes and things like that.
In Scandinavia, we are using GNOME specifically because it's the most natural in our languages.
Oh, yeah, so GNOME is the most significant, is the most natural way to say it?
Yeah.
Mate and mate is something that trips people up too.
Yeah, we have, we have garden gnomes out here, and so, that GNOME issue, it's, English language is weird. Like, silent G, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else going on before we dive into our topic here? We got Nelson Mitchell's on. This should be interesting. And I think War Thunder says it should at least be entertaining. There you go. All right. Good evening as well. Commodore Fan, do you have power yet, Commodore Fan? Or do you have it for like a day and then lose it again due to the second hurricane that's coming by? I don't know. Had to buy a new TV yesterday for the guest room for the family comes to the holidays. Almost impossible getting non-smart TV. Yeah, it is very hard to get a non-smart TV. You'll just get a big monitor at this point. Let's see.
But you don't have it. But just because you have a smart TV, because I do, you don't have to connect it to a network. Then it's a dumb TV.
Yeah, we actually, my friend's old smart TV, we actually took the back off and took out the wireless chip, so I couldn't even. Nope. Pull that cable out. We left the chip in there. We just pulled the cable out. That's right. Let's see.
Cover it with tin foil.
8-Bit Buddy's here. Greetings. Yeah, there you go. It's like my whole van. This whole place is wrapped in tin foil. My van's like a Faraday box.
Nice.
That's mostly because the sound deadening that you use, right? So there's multiple types of sound paneling I have to get good consistency. The one cuts down the sound when you're driving by isolating all the vibrations. So all in the back, roof, floor, all the walls, cover to cover, we put up sound paneling, which is basically aluminum foiled rubber strips. So it just takes any form of vibration and just makes it quiet. When I first bought the van, it was so loud just driving. Just, all
Just
that.
imagine it was just full of tools.
Yeah, it is dead quiet with all the sound paneling I have. And then, of course, when we did the build out, I have a lot of carpet panels all over, which really, it keeps the acoustics down because, of course, doing all the video and audio stuff I do in here, it sounds like a sound studio in here, which is kind of cool. And I'm in a van and it sounds like a sound studio. And I've been in vans that are a little bit more echoey, but, so, yeah. Solar flares, there you go. And when the Internet Archive got hacked, yeah, and a lot got deleted. Yeah, I don't know if they've confirmed they've actually deleted things off the main servers or if they're just script kiddies doing DDoS attacks, which, once those are mitigated, that won't go away. But yeah, it is a big deal. 31 million accounts were breached and leaked online, so it's pretty big. T-Mobile called today trying to sell me their new Galaxy Wi-Fi mesh. I'm already getting 1.1 gigabit on my existing gateway. There you go. Doing pretty great today. All right, good to hear it. GNU is gun, but with a typo. There you go. There you go. Yeah, see, you have a typo hat, Solver. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Use smart TV as a dumb monitor for the home cinema. Yep. I just HDMI a PC into it with a wireless keyboard and mouse. Yep. There you go. Let's see. All I got from the latest hurricane has been 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We got some wind up here too, but we didn't actually get any rain or anything.
I haven't seen rain in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it until last week, and I don't think we've seen it much. Let's see. Buddy is sick and active. Oh, that's not good, man. Cool. Vomiting. Bathroom in the house. Ooh, that's not good, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's terrible.
Years from now, Tom will keep using his van as a studio. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see. I'm not I like the van. I can't imagine parking on the back of some trailer or something and walking into here to do my YouTube stuff. And if it comes down to actually having a place to live again that doesn't have wheels on it, I will definitely be building a much, much better YouTube studio in it, for sure. Kind of like what I had right before I moved into the van. I converted that room into a pretty good studio. I had that studio for like 8 months, and that was pretty good. So, I don't know.
Come on, we know you're going to take your...
So you're actually having a studio van.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
We know you're going to take that van and just take it to a trailer park and then rent a lot and jack it up, put blocks under it, and take the tires off, and that's going to be
I might. I can't drive it anymore. Let's
just imagine Tom's van with skirting around it.
Oh God. We're definitely going redneck. I'll switch the channel. Switch to redneck.
Yahoo!
Exposure to hemlock, but no for sure. No, if your dog was exposed to hemlock, he wouldn't be here anymore. That's pretty fast. That's pretty fast. Bad stuff. Kitty has gained the power of invisibility. Let's see. We got 814 over there on Rumble. Okay. P3's flying around the Gulf lately, dropping silver iodide. Be surprised if you had seen rain. Oh, yeah, there you go. Putting the van up on the blocks in the yard. There you go. All right, we're going to go ahead and block that. Let's see. Tampa Bay Rays Stadium and the roof was torn to shreds. Oh, that's not good. Finances have been driven nuts about to floor the clients dragging feet on the payments. Yeah, do not put up with clients that aren't paying. You give them a 60-day grace period, give them a warning after that, and then drop them. And don't pursue collecting on delinquent payments. Just don't do business with them again. And if they want to oh my God, I have to use you, then you have got to go in and say you got to pay your bill in advance and you're paying your bills before I do the work. That'll work.
Your credit is
get a
bad
hitch
with me.
and trailer to extend the van. Work on a second story eventually. Put someone with the same name in the by-seat rider. You don't need a TomTom. There you go. That's right. Let's see. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause right there. Wheels Off Linux, and you're paying your debts first. There you go. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump on into our topic for the day. So, of course, I saw this article last week, and I thought that'd be making a nice little discussion article sometime. So we're just going to go ahead and run with it for a little bit here. So, of course, our article, this is from Techcrunch. VPN providers don't protect your privacy online. Here's what can. I'm very glad to see this coming out because VPNs have been the shilling thing for all sorts of channels. Everything from your political stuff to your completely neutral. I know one of my van lifers I like to watch upsells some VPN stuff. You know, I had it for a little bit, but I was always very clear that it's not the magic bullet. Then you got your tech guys doing it. Of course, TechLore is one of the best with understanding all the VPNs and doing the full reviews on them. I'm pretty sure they're still doing the same thing. So if you're looking for specific VPNs on requirements, that's a great resource to go and have a look over the TechLore's site. But the problem with a VPN is it does encrypt traffic, but it filters every bit of internet directly into somebody else's computer. You have to have a tremendous amount of faith in those people. Now, some of these VPNs have been tested in court and found to not actually have anything. Some of them have not. One of the challenges I see with the current VPN world is most of these VPNs are being bought and sold amongst themselves, and we're down to just a couple of companies having a lot of the VPNs, and that in and of itself is a problematic thing to think about. And so we have to have a tremendous amount of trust in the VPN companies. What a VPN was designed to do was to connect you through a secure tunnel into another system. Usually I've used them in the universities that I've taught at. We've all had VPNs there, so I could, if I was at home, I could use VPN, connect into the servers, and access all of my server resources from my home environment. And a side effect of doing that was an encrypted data channel. So mostly people are using VPNs for their side effect, not what they're really designed for. And that really is the overall principle here. And that honestly is why they're not the amazing thing for privacy that people upsell them to be, although they do have their purposes, which we'll talk about in a bit. Does anybody want to add anything before we talk about the actual purposes of buying a commercial VPN right now? Do any of you use a commercial VPN right now?
No.
I tried one.
I use Proton. Got it as a package deal about for Christmas time of 19. I got that. It is a package deal for VPN and the email, and I pay like 46% of the normal cost of the two together.
Mm-hmm.
So It's good for life. Yeah.
Yep. So the only VPN I use, I actually have a VPN of my own that's on servers I control. And this is what brings you to the reason you'd want to use a VPN is if you're at a coffee shop, and as a van dweller, I spend some time in coffee shops. It's a great place to download Linux distributions without hitting my bandwidth limit on my van. But when I go to download them or just get on free public Wi-Fi, you want to have a form of security. That's what VPNs are good for. Now, you can use a commercial one, and you will get good security over that VPN. You'll get some privacy based on the fact that you're in there with a lot of other people, and so it will provide a little bit of privacy. The problem is you put too much trust in that one company. Whereas my VPN is just on a server I control in a cloud. It's either on DigitalOcean or Linode. I forget which one of those two I have it on. But I just click the little button on my Linux computer when I'm on a public Wi-Fi and I'm connected to my VPN server. And now I can do whatever I need to do securely without anybody spying on the data collection. Now, of course, I could actually go in there and I could create my own DNS or custom host file on that VPN server, and I could build my own ad blockers or things like that. I don't do that because I don't use it enough to really justify that, and my laptop does all that automatically anyway. But that's really the purpose of it, is to have good security. You'll hear people in the upselling for their sponsorships talk about, well, you can use this to go to a different location and watch video content that's not available in your location. I will point out it is a violation of the terms of service of those streaming servers. So every one of those people telling you that that's one of the features of the VPN, they're actually breaking the rules of their stuff. Now, whether or not you're a rule follower or not, I'm just pointing out what the truth is. So do what you want, but I'm just pointing it out. You shouldn't be. I don't even know why these companies are allowing these guys to advertise that, but that the purpose of the VPN is more for security than it is for privacy. But if there's enough people using a good commercial VPN, it will add some degree of privacy. But that's not what they were created for. And so that really is the introduction to the article. There you go. Where we got 15 minutes in, right?
I would,
yeah, go ahead.
I would recommend this. If you're in a tightly packed community like I am, where the houses are almost, you can stick your hand out the window and grab the other guy's hand out the other window. A VPN might be a good thing to use if you do banking and stuff like that, even in a community and even if you're not in a coffee shop, because I can turn on my Wi-Fi on my computer and it can pick up to 50 different other Wi-Fi devices around my house, including phones, routers, and everything else. And it would be nothing for somebody that just wanted to be a crook and try to hijack your signal and capture what's going through it.
I don't think that's going to be an issue as long as your wireless network is secured. So really the reason a free Wi-Fi is a problem is because they don't have security put on so that people can't get in there. And what ends up happening is if I'm on your network and I don't have the network properly secured, they can get in there and spy on all the other traffic that's going on. But if you have a good secure wireless network, somebody's not going to get in.
Some of the old style password keys have been broken, and there's actually software to actually get around that. It's not that hard to do. It's the newer devices are more secure. The older stuff isn't.
Maybe this is a good reason to not rely over on VPN or on wireless. I plug into the computers as much as I can, but yeah, I get that point. If somebody does breach into your router, if you're using one of the many routers that is not up to date now, we've seen D-Link and Cisco routers and things like that. In fact, I believe Cisco routers was one of the vulnerabilities that let the Chinese hackers into Verizon and AT&T this week. And so I can see that point. But if you got somebody in there to that point, I'm not sure the VPN's necessarily going to help. I don't know if anybody has any other more factual thoughts. However, your bank may flag you for fraud if you're using a VPN. And that's a concern with using the VPN to access your bank files. I don't know. Anybody have any other thoughts on that?
I don't know, because I tried a VPN. I think I tried Nord a long time ago when it was just Nord. Nobody owned them. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't usable for me because it crippled my speed so bad.
Yeah, that's not as much of an issue with modern VPNs, but...
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to what Techcrunch here says works. And we'll talk about these. The first is... use an ad blocker. And of course we are involved in this giant fight with YouTube right now over ad blockers. Let me see if YouTube's going to cram an ad in there. I don't know. I'm not seeing a little ad indicator on the bottom of the stream notes yet. So maybe 4 or 5 ads have already been there in the 20 minutes we've been on. I don't know. But
they even ding you when you're doing a live stream.
Oh, yeah, and I can actually see it. I can actually pause it or suspend it. But I'm like, why bother if you don't want to see ads? You're running an ad blocker, But, even the FBI says, yeah, you should probably run an ad blocker. A lot of this has to do with the fact that there are a lot of scams and spams and phishing done through the advertising network. And it's really audacious of Google to sit here and tell people you can't use an ad blocker. Meanwhile, they allow their ad systems to be so overflooded with scammers. It's like, Google itself is making our systems less secure by penalizing people for running an ad blocker while they do not clean up their own ad network. That is a serious problem. And that's why the FBI recommends using ad blockers, because cyber criminals talk about impersonating brands. We'll bring these up. We bring up interesting cases of these that show up on the Weekly News Roundup frequently. It's called malvertising. And so a company takes out an ad, because one of the problems when you make a Google ad is the listing under the Google ad that says where the site's going, that's all stuff. That's not the actual link. That is stuff that the ad creator types in manually to indicate where it is, but there's no internal check to make sure the link you're actually linking to in the advertisement actually matches that link, which you'd figure would be a simple solution to do. And you'd also figure that Google would have a means to double check a link before the ad actually goes live. So that's one of those factors. Go ahead, Sabu.
Yeah, so Google and the other ad networks, the other sites who do this, they should outright remove the possibility of customizing the look of the link. So they should only have a place where you point what the link should be, and then the ad network will automatically by itself determine what it should look like. So the one buying the ad should not have the possibility. That will thwart this quite fast.
Yeah, and the reason Google does that is so that I can say this is the top level URL and this is the page we're going to. You can kind of say what it is in the event you're using some form of tracking software that's going to have a much larger URL. So I understand why they're doing that, but it doesn't make any sense that we can have such a system. Now, in our take here, because we're not necessarily talking about security today, we're talking about privacy. The problem with ads is that they are just embedded with data collection and user collection through trackers and cookies and Mozilla's PPA and stuff like that. And so an ad blocker is going to block all of those different things. Of course, I'm using uBlock Origin. I also use Privacy Badger from EFF. One of my computers I'm experimenting with, Start Page, has a little add-on system that blocks trackers, which is pretty good. There's a Start Page one. So there's a lot of those types of things. But ultimately, the ad blockers are good for privacy because they block a lot of the tracking going on and prevent you from being caught up in all of the data collection being done. Anything else on that general topic there?
Yay for ad blockers.
Yeah, I've been using an ad blocker since about 2003 when there was a software for Windows called WebWasher, which was a proxy, local proxy that interrupted. I've been using it ever since, some form of that.
Yep. Anything else? All right. The next one they recommend is controversial on this channel. Use an encrypted DNS provider. So this is DNS over HTTPS or DOH. So I have done a number of videos being critical on DOH in the past. And rightly so, because even the NSA says, hey, guys, we should not be relying on this, because it provides, according to the NSA, a false sense of security. Now, on the technical level, DNS over HTTPS is very good in that what it's going to do is it's going to give us encryption between your computer and where your computer makes the request to search up the site. So if you don't know how DNS works, you have the internet is a series of IP addresses, which is where all the servers are at. The DNS is the phone book lookup to convert the IP addresses into reasonable address codes. And so the way that DNS has typically been done, you do the request over unencrypted internet, so a man in the middle can spy or even replace a address with a false address. This is one of the challenges with a untrusted VPN, is if you're using that VPN company's DNS resolver, whatever it says to use, you're using, outside of a few things that you can possibly do outside of that. But what ends up happening is if somebody gets in the middle, they can actually put a malicious website that looks like the original website. They can create a site that looks like Facebook, that you go to it, and it even says facebook.com in the top, but you wouldn't know unless you did a reverse proxy check against that website and Facebook to see if they actually properly match, which would even be hard to figure out there because Facebook is hosted on a number of different servers, so there's a variety of IP addresses which are all synced together. And so what DNS over HTTPS tries to do is tries to prevent that man-in-the-middle type attack by making sure that your computer's connection to the DNS resolver is encrypted. The problem is it's also easy to spoof. So you can have a DNS over HTTPS that is not actually as secure as you think it is. And that's where the NSA warns that it's a false sense of security. So while they list it here and it has technical things which makes DNS over HTTPS good, the challenge is that it also has issues where it'll block any filters you're doing. It stops you from doing any local ad blocking. There's a number of factors that gets in the way. However, if you implement your own DNS over HTTPS by utilizing something like a Pi-hole and creating your own DOH, you can set that up any way you want and have much better security in terms of your DNS resolvers. And so this is a double-edged sword. It's not a magic bullet, but it is very good in that respect. And so this is one of the things you can do. So you can, of course, do a system that's you can do a system that's like my train of thought has derailed, unfortunately. There was like a bang outside, which I was like, I think they're moving a car inside out there. But anyway, if you set up your own DNS over HTTPS, it's very good. And so it is a solution that could work. Anybody have any thoughts and comments on that?
The only thing is that yes, untrusted DNS provider in a VPN world or the ISP, yes, they can change the DNS records. But the SSL certificates for Facebook, for instance, wouldn't match. So it will automatically stop. The browser would stop you and saying this is not correct. Mm-hmm. So that's a major. So if there is a website that you are usually going to, which all of a sudden the SSL certificate is wrong or non-existent, then something is very wrong. And it might be that the website has problems, or there is a man in the middle attack, and they because they can't fake the SSL certificate without tricking the user into installing a certificate authority, which enable them to create whatever they want.
There is one way around it I'll bring up for completion here. It's not fully DNS. It would be you'd have to do a DNS redirect, and then you'd have to do a would be called an HTTP forwarder, like a header forwarder, and you would change it to a site that looks like the same domain name. Basically, it'd be like an ASCII key attack. So you'd change the A from a typical ASCII character to like a Sanskrit character that looks the same. That's technically a different domain. And then if you actually own that domain, you could get an SSL against that one that the typical user may not be able to see. So what that would look like on the DNS front is they would redirect you to their site, but before the page loads, so it doesn't see the SSL is not existent, it redirects you to another page that looks the same. And so that is what they're looking at there. Oh wow, Aurora Borealis is active now. It's apparently outside my window. Let me look at that real quick. Hold on a second. Let me go check.
Yeah.
All the pretty colors. I know we can even see it out here, but not exactly where I am because
Where is it? Up north?
I might actually have to go outside to see that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Should we go outside to see that?
Yeah, it's in the northern regions.
All right. Let me. You gentlemen talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'm gonna go out and see if I can see it. Hold on a second.
I was gonna go out and see if I can see it. I got clear skies.
I can never see it from where I am in town. We get a city nearby, and the light pollution just kills it. So I'd have to get up north in the mountains to even remotely see it. And Sobu's gone too. I ain't gonna go look at nothing. All right, so it's my show. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome on back to Switch to Linux and the supporter stream, and we're talking about VPNs and safety features regarding that. And hey, Tom's back.
Yes, we do have northern lights out there right now.
Back to you, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, it is beautifully purple outside.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not nearly what I saw when I was up in Voyagers.
No, there you go.
I don't think I can access those pictures from here, but let me see if I can.
War Thunder. It's the Anchorage show.
The Anchorage show. There you go.
I know. Like here I am talking like a stereotypical announcer guy from a game
and
show.
now in the news, Switch to Linux is completely off track because there's northern lights outside, which honestly for down here in central Pennsylvania, northern lights is pretty.
It's pretty big.
Pretty big. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I have. You know what? I'm pretty sure I don't. Let me see.
Yeah, I have a clear sky too, but I can't see anything. Down to the south, there is some pink or purple in the sky, but yeah.
Posted.
There you go.
I was trying to see. Let's see. It was this trip. Hold on. I'm in last, and then okay. Let me go back to September. See if I still have September. I'm trying to see if I can actually see the pictures of what I did on the Northern Lights. North Cascades Glacier.
I got whacked in the head by a bat.
Oh, you got whacked in the head by a bat? Sweet. Oh, I can't actually access them. All right, we're getting completely off this show schedule today, guys. Hopefully that's okay with you, but let me see if I can show my desktop view here. There we are. So these were actually pictures I took from Voyagers National Park. We had a super brilliant one. So this is actually just waiting for things. I was just doing some camera testing here. Just kind of waiting for stuff. And while I was waiting for it to get dark, I was actually playing old Nintendo games emulated on my Raspberry Pi on the edge of this lake here. Start seeing the stars show up there. And then here you start see the northern lights start rolling in. And then this is just some more camera testing.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
that was the opposite direction. So here they are, and this is where they're really starting to come in. So these are all taken with the same camera I'm using right now for the show.
Now I got some of that going on.
Yeah, there you go.
More like that.
What we're seeing out here right now is just straight purple, which is beautiful. So hopefully we can wrap up the show and I'll get a chance to go out and see them. But yeah, these are all pictures I took.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
I have a half a moon.
Yeah, I got half the moon out there. Yeah, there you go. These are just beautiful though. This is at Voyagers National Park in is that Minnesota, I think?
Is that the USS Voyager?
Yes, USS Voyager. I'm up on Star Trek right now. This is an alien planet.
That only happens if the Earth is flat.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, let's go ahead and get on back to the show notes, and then maybe it'll still be going on by the time I'm done here. But hopefully you enjoyed my shots of the Northern Lights. Let's go ahead and get on back to our regularly scheduled program then. All right, so let me close that out and get on back to my article. So I think we had wrapped up DNS over HTTPS. Any other statements we have about that?
No.
All right. Now the next one is a multi-hop service like Apple, a private relay. I don't know if there's any other solutions for this out there other than this is effectively the same way that Tor works. And so I was kind of lump both these together into one section here. I don't have any experience on the Apple stuff, but I do have a lot of experience on the Tor network. So obviously I route all my internet traffic on my phone through Tor. I use Orbot and then use the VPN mode, and then it always connects your system up to a VPN. And then I can choose which apps go through the Tor network and which apps just go through the regular network. Now, Dan, you said that it's much quicker on your faster internet now, but it was slower before, right?
Well, yeah. It was like you'd hit connect and you'd wait. It'd take up to 30 seconds before you get a connect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the searches on the DuckDuckGo it gives you. I mean, you go to places, the pictures load right away, the websites load right away. There's no delay or the pictures crawling down the screen to complete.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of it. The Tor network is a lot faster now than it was a few years ago. That is definitely true. And it might depend on how fast your internet is going into it. I don't know. Of course, your options for using this, we have the Tor browser, which they have a version of this for every device out there. Of course, you can use the Tails operating system. Unix is the virtual machine application that you would use. And Cubes, which is probably the best privacy and security system that you can get. It's just a lot more complicated to use. But it will route your traffic variably through Tor or through the regular internet, depending on which machines you're setting up to use which networks. So that is kind of what, that is, of course, the gold standard. The challenge with using something like Tor is it can be slow, although it's not as slow as it used to be. But once you log into an account and you're using Tor, you've effectively de-anonymized yourself. So you use Tor for things that you're not trying to log into. But you still want to look things up with having a reasonable amount of privacy. And so that is what our thoughts are there. Any other thoughts on those general privacy tips or anything that we missed as far as privacy tips?
None I can think of.
No, I think Tor is like pretty decent to go fishing around if you really don't want to stick your nose out there. If you really want to be safe and private and you have the RAM in your machine, a virtual machine is the best way probably to go. Because if you get a corrupt virtual machine, you can always throw it away if you have a copy of it sitting around to replace it with.
Yeah, well, the challenge with just the virtual machine, though, is that it will still log any IP connections and things back to your home network. That's what Tor is going to get around, is it's going to prevent that type of stuff from tracking in. So the virtual machine is probably better for
I'm just talking in the sense of
catching
catching something floating around out there.
Yeah, that's why it's probably.
Let's say you get one of those questionable websites that got one of the funny characters in the IP address.
Like I said though, that's better for security, not better for privacy.
Yeah.
And those are, I think that oftentimes we lump security and privacy together too much. And
yes, we do.
Shouldn't, so.
They're both dangerous in the wrong hands.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. All right. That is what we had as far as the general topic. Let's go ahead and check in on our comments here. We got 34 watching on Zatubies.
By the way, in case it's interesting, I just posted in the Matrix live channel a picture of the Northern Lights a few hours south from me as of 4 minutes ago.
Wow, that's pretty vibrant.
Wow, with red too.
Yeah.
Oh, I've not seen red in them before.
Yeah,
Is
red
my thing
and
going to
green.
load? Is it a picture that you loaded? I don't see a picture showing up. Let me click the
Yeah,
link
it was a
picture.
picture. Um,
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
seeing the
it's
picture.
right.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's right above the statement where he says, "This is 3 minutes ago."
Yeah,
further
let me.
south.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna reboot my internet on the phone.
Yeah.
I actually had an issue. Was it? I don't know if it was
yeah,
yesterday or 2 days ago.
what I
but-
could do is I could share my window
No,
where I
I
have
got
the,
it.
and then you can show it on the.
Oh
you'd
yeah,
say,
yeah. Go and do that. Yeah.
That's good. At least I know now that I got my time right.
Oh, dang, that's nice. Oh,
Yeah,
man,
it's awesome.
I've not seen that with red before. That is epic. That's like Christmas tree edition.
Yeah.
That is Christmas light edition of Northern Lights. Anyway, we got 34 watching. Let's see. Mine said the pictures are all freaky. They did all they guess. Let's see. 99% of VPNs use false advertising. Yep. Emailed you the latest October ISO of Storm OS. Yep. I'll see if I can grab it. Let's see. There were just one or two. Let's see. Not use mine's account in a long time for people I follow, very active on it. Yeah. Use self-hosted VPN to my home so I can access my Nextcloud calendar. Yeah, that's the best way to go if you do a local Nextcloud server and then you set up a VPN and then you connect your device back to your home VPN that way.
By the way, on Rumble, Kokik has discovered that this is not the Northern Lights; it's a UFO invasion.
Oh, it's a UFO invasion. Oh, and let me warn. I'm going to warn my friends outside that it's a UFO invasion and not the Northern Lights.
Yep. And that's the attack.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fascinating that not only is it so it's two different colors at the same time. That's
yeah, we see the green and purple combined. It's like when I just saw what we saw, I didn't see a lot of variability, but it was a deep purple is what I was seeing the sky as. Better off using Tor for more private than using a VPN. Yes, that is true. Let's see. Friends trade commercial VPN passwords around the group so everyone has it if needed. There you go. Use Proton VPN free tier when on vacation. There you go. Run your own. Yeah, creating your own VPN server is actually pretty easy. And most of your servers have click of a button. You can have it set up. See, someone speaking about VPNs are not the all. Yeah, I've if you check my channel, I've always been consistent. Even when I've had a VPN affiliate link, I've always been consistent that a VPN is not your privacy. It's more about your security. Let's see. Can your personal VPN change IP and location, etc.? No. So that's why the VPN, a personal VPN, is more for your it's more for your security than privacy, but that's what a VPN is designed for. A VPN is not designed for privacy. It's designed for security. Sorry, I had popcorn in the keyboard. Uh-oh. Got fiber optics. Is that the popcorn in the keyboard? Fiber optics? Users watching YouTube or browsing the internet. All right. Rarely connect to public Wi-Fi. Just use the phone data. Yep. Yeah, and I do it because I can download distros when I'm out there. D-Link is horrible about their updates. Yeah. TP-Link, I have seen TP-Link updates quite a bit. Yep. Go Wi-Fi 7 when it drops in price. There you go. Hey, man, Windows 11 has Wi-Fi 7 capabilities now. Come on. We should all switch to Windows 11 for that.
Oh, boy.
Let's see. Is GNU Guy calling in from a nuclear submarine? Yes. Salbu, you're on a nuclear submarine, right? Yeah, he's actually. I think he's actually out dealing with a leak right now. So
yeah,
that's
that's engineering of the USS Voyager.
Yes, there you go. Let's see. Everyone Brave and another ad blocker. Yep. Yeah, Pi-hole's good option there. Salbu, we were asked if you were running this from a submarine.
I'm in the engineering room of USS Voyager.
Yeah, see.
I like to think that you're trying to do it from Red October, but that's just me.
What's
I love
it
when they in one of the early Star Trek movies when was it Chekhov who was a Russian in the series when they had when they traveled back in time to the 1970s in LA and he was going around asking questions in with a very heavy Russian accent.
Where can I find it? The nuclear vessels.
Metarick asks, what's a secure Linux server? A Linux server that is up to date. Just keep those Linux servers up to date. That is your best bet there. We got 17 currently watching on Odyssey, and not a lot of chatting going on over there. So just Ivan over there. So greetings, Ivan.
This boring
we got 24 over on Rumble, or is it called Premium? Because my Rumble logo says Premium next to it. I don't know. That might just be because I pay for this stuff. So, you know. Let's see. Me too. False sense of security VPNs provide people only makes fingerprints more effective. Yes. Let's see. Rather get flagged for fraud and fight back than take any steps towards a digital ID. Yeah. Have you tried Sirixing for searching? I've played with it a little bit. I actually self-hosted one for a little bit to see. Northern Lights of Montana are beautiful. Yep. It's not Northern Lights. It's UFO invasion. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard indeed. We've actually got to the bottom of our comments and our content. We were wrapping up a little early, I guess. So I guess what we will do though is. I will just remind you the Code Red book is out. And let me jump over to this. I'm not sure I have my microphone set up on this screen or not. Let me see. Nope, I don't have my microphone set up on that screen. So, yeah, you can jump on over to Amazon. You can look up my book, Code Red. Just type in Code Red and my name, Morosky, M-U-R-O-S-K-Y. I did see it on Barnes & Noble as well today. It should be rolling out anywhere you can pick up a book online. Since I have the web browser up, let me just go to Barnes & Noble, bn.com. We'll just do that. And it is starting to roll out everywhere. Oh, look at this. Barnes & Noble is giving me like a non-SSL. Connection is not secure on Barnes & Noble. What is this horrible website?
They're getting cheap.
Connection is not secure. Why not?
Your VPN is turned on.
Apparently. I don't know. Let's see. Website does not supply ownership information. Interesting. I don't know why Barnes & Noble's not secure. Let me go there again. Let me double check that. Okay, it redirected me securely that time.
Good.
Check them SSLs, folks. All right. So do Code Red and my name, Morosky, and that should find you the book. So, of course, this is the print book, and this is the audio book. So you can pick it up over here. So you can get it, I guess if you have a Barnes & Noble audiobook subscription, you could just get it free with that, or you can pay the $10, and then the paperback and the ebook version are over here on Barnes & Noble as well. They're also on Amazon and probably rolling out anywhere else you pick up books online, so you can grab those. Of course, just a reminder, if you are a Patreon supporter, $5 and up, the ebook and the audiobook are free downloads on Patreon now. I'll be rolling out the other books up there eventually. I wanted to just kind of test and see how easy that was to set up.
I will tell you, if you buy this book, you will be able to predict the future.
Yeah, right before the book came out, the technology I talked about in the Cars Have Eyes stories, Ford patented the material. I should sue him.
Yeah. Same thing with Synaptology. Synaptology now has a movie.
Elon Musk is like, oh, our Neuralink is they can now use your computers with your mind. Yeah, that was the whole principle in Synaptology.
Well, they got a movie. It's called Upgrade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where a guy becomes a quadriplegic and a wreck. And he gets a chip called STEM. They put it in his spine, just below his brain, and it restores all his bodily functions.
Ooh,
arms,
maybe
legs, and everything.
maybe I should sue the movie. Synaptry's been out for about 5 years now, and that's the exact premise of my book.
Yeah. That's what I was thought when I watched it. However, the chip really goes way out there, and it has ability to talk to him. The chips talks to him, but no one else can hear him, and the chip can take over his body and make him do kung fu moves and everything.
I don't have that in my system.
It gets kind of silly.
Interesting. Yeah. Whatever. Interesting. Well, I mean, I borrowed portions of Synapty from other places too, so who cares? Fun science fiction stories. As long as people start thinking about these things, I'm happy with that. But anyway,
yes.
With that though, guys, we're gonna wrap up here. Of course, I do have Zechariah chapter 2 tonight on the Christian channel. If you want to have a look at that, let me see if I can find the link for that for you guys. And let's see here. So that'll be at 9 o'clock tonight. Copy link address. We'll go ahead and post this for guys over there. And sorry, Odyssey guys, you're getting the YouTube link. For Rumble, I'll give you guys the Rumble link. That'll be going live at 9 tonight. Let me copy link address there, and let me drop that into the Rumble feed. So if you guys want to watch that stuff, that is the Christian content. So if you don't like that Christian stuff, just ignore that. But if you do like that type of stuff, you can have a look over there. We go into the man with the measuring rod and a little bit of end times and things like that. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all next time tomorrow for the Weekly News Round.